Hi everybody, so I wanted to do a quick video about the world of launchers and the different game stores that you get with PC gaming. So if you just bought your new gaming desktop or laptop or even something like a Steam Deck and you're thinking, okay, what's next? Where do I actually get my games from? We're going to go through some of the various stores and launchers in this video so you at least become familiar with the landscape and you can kind of go with the launcher and the store that works for you. Okay, so let's get started with the most famous one, which is Steam. Now, the way this kind of works is that there are all these different stores in the same way that, like on your Xbox console, you'll have the Xbox store, so you buy all your games through that, don't you? And on the PlayStation consoles, you have the PlayStation store, and they're linked to the consoles. But on PC, it's not as tied down as that. So Steam, historically, for the last several years, has become the dominant place for buying PC games. And so that means you can look at it on the web, or you can download the Steam store and you can open it up, or the Steam client, I guess you'd call it. And within this program, you'll have the Steam store, and it will also keep all your library. But it also has lots of other things as well. There's like a workshop for mods for games. And it also takes advantage of things like Steam cloud saves as well. So the idea is that when you buy a game through Steam and you save it, it uploads it to the cloud so that if you use that on another PC, or you lose your local copy, it can then download that. And lots of the different launchers do that. And the Steam variation, the Steam store and the Steam launchers become very popular and dominant, really because of it's nice and easy to use. The prices are very, very good. And it has lots and lots and lots of games. There aren't that many exclusives that aren't on the Steam store. And it's really nice to have all your games in one place on your library. It just makes things easier. And especially if you've got something like a Steam Deck, buying things through the Steam store is kind of recommended because everything works easily. Steam have also been very aggressive with pricing because I think they're probably very aware that they've almost got a monopoly on this. And so every sort of 3 months there's a really big sale and games get knocked down an awful lot as well. And you also have the option to go to things like key sites like CD keys, where you can buy Steam keys. You can buy keys for other platforms as well, where often in between sales, for example, CD keys can be nice and cheap as well. So for me, I would always say when you start buying games for your PC, Steam is really the place to start off with, to start looking at prices and buying the games there. Unless, of course, it's an exclusive that's exclusive to one of the other platforms, because that does happen. So another important launcher and store is the Xbox or the Microsoft launcher and Microsoft store, because this is the home of Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate, which if you're into playing lots of different games on your PC, this can be pretty good value for money. They're not that aggressive with their store in terms of prices and selling things, but you will have the Xbox exclusive for a while before they come over to PC, and the main reason is basically because of because of Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate, so you can have all these PC games at your fingertips, and you can also have cloud gaming of the console versions of these games as well. So that's good. So it's one worth looking at. Now, Epic Games have come along, and Epic are kind of trying to take Steam on, still sort of. It's worth having the Epic Games launcher installed and visiting their website regularly, mainly because of the free games. So at least every week they get you one free game, and quite a few games throughout the year are actually pretty good ones. I've had Grand Theft Auto from them as well, so it's worth having that way. Also, they do have some exclusives. So, for example, the new Alan Wake game, Alan Wake 2, is exclusive to Epic Games and Epic Games Store. Fortnite is exclusive to the Epic Games and Epic Games Store. So, so that's why you'd have that one installed. Amazon, I put this one on here because if you subscribe to Amazon Prime, if you go to Amazon Prime Gaming, they give away loads of free games as well. At the moment, they tend to be more of the lower quality is probably the wrong word, the cheaper indie ones. But over the years, and over the months, they have given away some very nice games as well. GOG Galaxy is a good one. This is kind of the home of Cyberpunk. So this is worth having and checking out. Again, the cheap games, because you've got lots of older games on here. And then you get sort of ones that launchers that are publisher specific. So Ubisoft have their own launcher. Now, this isn't to say lots of these games might not be or won't be available on the other platforms. So just because it's on here doesn't mean it's not on Steam. But you may well want to join. Ubisoft have their subscription service where you can get their games, for a monthly fee. You can have access to all of the games, so you could have something like that. So it's worth looking at there. EA do a similar sort of thing, and then you kind of get the launchers that are more game specific. So you've got things like the Battle.net launcher, which was the exclusive home of the latest Call of Duties, but they've actually come to Steam now. But there's other games that are just on here, and then you get ones like the Escape from Tarkov launcher, which is purely really for Escape from Tarkov, and I guess it will be for the new Arena mode soon. So, which platform are you going to buy your games from? Well, for me, really, it is you're going to go with Steam, or you're probably going to go with Epic. Mostly Steam, and then if there is something exclusive to one of the other launchers or one of the other stores, you're going to buy it from there. Now, just because these games are coming through these different store fronts and these different launchers doesn't mean that you have to launch them all the time. What happens is, most of the time, once you install a game from one of these sources, it will just turn into, if I can finally get to my desktop, just becomes a shortcut on your desktop that you can double click, and then the game will fire up the launcher and then go into it. One of the things that is a pain is that if you don't open up a launcher for quite a while, if you do decide to do that, it'll probably take sort of a few minutes for it to update itself. And also, just because you've bought a game, for example through Steam, doesn't mean that it won't want one of the other launchers to actually fire up the game. So you get this rather odd situation where you'll fire up a game, say in Steam or from the Microsoft, the Xbox app, and it will launch a small version of the EA app or a small version of the UA launcher to fire up your game. So that can be a bit confusing, and that's why it's good to keep them updated. So there we go. There's lots of the more popular types of storefronts and launchers you can have, but your main ones for me are going to be Steam, Xbox if you're going to go for the Ultimate Game Pass, and the Epic launcher, and Amazon for those free games. Okay, so hopefully that's been helpful. If it has been, hit like if you want to see more of the same, subscribe, and we'll of course see you again soon.